Mario Kart 8!
Because Lord knows I haven't milked Mario Kart 8 enough. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FlameHisWorld commentary of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. And for this playthrough, I'm just going to get into this real quick, because I am playing this live, because you know, Mario Kart live with me playing, it's going to be a disaster, but for this playthrough, I'm going to be playing on Mirror Mode. And that's because that's, to my recollection, the only part of the game I didn't show off back across like 2014, 2015, when I played this game, like on the channel beforehand. And so, you know, let's switch it up a little bit. And this is actually blind as well. I've never actually played Mirror Mode on Mario Kart 8, so these tracks are tracks that I haven't played on before, at least like the flipped variants of them. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to play as my boy Bowser, as I always do. And this car was working for me when I was playing just on the standard 150 the other day. So let's roll with this for now. And let's get straight into it. So yeah, this session, or this playthrough in particular, it's going to be just a kind of shooting the shit chill kind of thing, because like I wanted to give out one more Mario Kart playthrough before the end of the year, because it's become a thing I've noticed on FlameHisWorld that we usually do one Mario Kart playthrough a year, and I thought, you know what, let's make it a thing, let's make it something that we do every year, especially towards the end of the year like last year. And yeah, this is throwing me off a little bit already, being on the flipped course, because I know this Mario Kart Stadium like the back of my hand on the regular mode, so to have us going the other way around, yeah, this is going to take a little bit of time to adapt to. But given this is the first time I'm showing off the Switch version of the game, like some of the differences they have right off the bat that you notice, for a start it's 1080p, and that's like a proper 1080p, not the sort of upscaled 720 that the Wii U version had. And so there's that. It's also a consistent 60 frames, because like the Wii U one, I didn't really understand what was going on. Like, I think there was some weird frame timing thing going on where it'd keep a 59 frames, but there was like, it just wasn't quite as perfect as it possibly could have been. Whereas now, like, no, it's a perfectly smooth 60, which is about as good as you're gonna get out of a console. So that's the technical side of things. There's also a secondary item slot. Like, if you look in the top left, now you can have a reserve item as well, like if you pick up one of them double item blocks, which that's pretty cool, because that was something that they took out of the Wii U one compared to older Mario Karts. Because it used to be that you could have like an item that you were holding on to and then one just back up in that slot. So you could just drive around like holding a shell or something behind you as a defensive item, and like while having the other thing that you could fall back on, like maybe a mushroom or banana or whatever. But like they took it out in the Wii U one, but now they've brought it back. I don't think it works exactly the same as it did. Like, I think you have to go through a double item box to be able to get the reserve item this time, but it's still pretty cool. And yeah, I'm in the lead right now, but given this is Mario Kart and I've seen some items go around, will I make it? Yes, I will. There we go. That was sweet. I was kind of nervous about that. Like, just, I get nervous when I'm showing games off anyway live, but just because I didn't want to be that guy who loses on the first fucking course. And yeah, regarding load screens, I am actually cutting them down in post here, just so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But they're still pretty long. Like, I remember the Wii U was like infamous for having really long load screens for a lot of things, at least until they patched the console up a bit later. But this one, it's a little bit better, but fuck, I had to burn out, didn't I? But yeah, it seems a little bit better, but it's still noticeable. Like, it's enough for me to take a peek. And there's my fucking muscle memory going. Like, I'm so used to that part where you just drift around to the right. Because like Mario Kart 8, the original release, was a game that I played a hell of a lot of back when it first came out, and I still kept playing it for quite a while afterwards. So a lot of these courses in their standard forms are like ingrained in my mind. So that was me like not even paying attention to the screen properly. That was me just like, I load up this level and I drift right as the first proper thing I do. And that doesn't work in mirror mode, because in mirror mode you need to drift left. Otherwise you make quite a bit of a tit of yourself, as I saw. Oh, fuck. And yeah, I did, like, since I've got this game, I've played through a few of the courses on standard 150. I haven't actually played any 200 yet, because if you remember that playthrough that I did where I was playing 200cc, yeah, I wasn't very good at that. I think I probably will go back to playing 200cc once I've been through 150 properly again, just because 200, although it's difficult, it's also a lot of fun. And to the point where if I've been playing 200 for a little while, going back to 150 does feel a bit slow by comparison. So I reckon, like, I will give 200 another shot just for, you know, shits and giggles more than anything really. But that is the thing, and I won't dwell on this too much because I have already done a 200cc playthrough, but I think what I hope, at least for the next main Mario Kart game, like not another port or anything, but like next time there's a proper Mario Kart release, I hope like 200 will be there off the bat rather than being DLC they put in later. And the reason I say that is because I think 200cc in this game is sort of held back by the fact that the tracks weren't really designed for that in mind. Oh, fuck Blue Shell. But so to have courses where it's designed from day one with you playing at 200cc possibly off the bat, like that might lead to some better gameplay experiences. Like you won't have as many sharp, dangerous turns, or at least unrealistic turns. You might have more of a chance of actually being able to make it. But there, I came second there, so I'm tied with Luigi for first place. Let's see if I can hold that up. And it's this track. This is the one, naturally, that I've said many a time, but it reminds me of Sweet Mountain from Sonic Colors, which, you know, Sonic Colors, really fun game. We did a playthrough of that not too long ago on the channel, so if you're interested in the Sonics, maybe go check that out. But let's see if I can not burn out this time. Yes, I did it! See, and I know this is going to sound like I'm making excuses like a fucking scrub, but in my defense, yeah, I'm pulling out excuses already, but in my defense, when I'm recording this, when I'm recording a game live, I actually have to have the audio delayed a little bit. And that's because I have a standard capture card, like a typical USB 2 one. So I'm a few seconds behind audio compared to the game that I'm playing. So I have to readapt myself to play from the visual cues as opposed to what I would usually do, where when I hear that second beep I know it's time to start revving up. But yeah, that's just a Let's Player problem. That's not anything that I can properly defend myself with. Well, I've got to say, when it plays on mirror mode, I do like the little touches of the signs being reversed, like Lucky 2 holding his sign backwards, shit like that. I think they're neat little touches, not really anything amazing, but yeah, I like it, a little bit of character. One thing I've noticed about this level, and this might just be placebo, but I feel like in this port of the game, that the particle effects are more prominent. Like, I might be misremembering, but I don't seem to remember the sort of like floral particle effects being quite as distinct as they are here. Like, you see the little white dots that we're driving through right now, they seem a lot more detailed, and that might be something that they've cleaned up a little bit. Like, I think they've done a little bit of texture work. Like, I don't think they're new textures, but I think that they're higher resolution textures than they were in the Wii U one. Now, I will say that this is one of 2 Nintendo Switch games I actually own at this time. Or, well, actually one of 3, I'll tell a lie, but like, so far, the only game I've beaten in full on the Switch is Super Mario Odyssey, which is a really fucking fun game. Like, I say this as someone who, before that game, had never beaten a 3D Mario. Like, I hadn't been able to see one through to the end just because I sort of lost interest. But like, Mario Odyssey is probably tied Game of the Year for me with Sonic Mania. Super Mario Odyssey is like one of the some of the most fun I've had with a video game in a very long time. And it's just, I'm going to be doing a playthrough of that on HFC soon, but it's such a good game. It's so much fucking fun. And speaking of Odyssey, it does make me wonder what kind of aesthetics they could borrow from that game to make courses with in the next Mario Kart. Because there are some quite distinct kingdoms, like they're not as distinct as say the galaxies from Mario Galaxy, because they play to tropes a little bit more and don't have that space theme going on. But when I think of things like, say, New Donk City, that would make for a fucking cool Mario Kart course. There's a few others as well, like it's New Donk City that's the most prominent one to me, but there's also things like, I guess, maybe the Snow Kingdom. Snow Kingdom could make for a cool track because it's not just a sort of snowy level, you've got the two layers of it. You've got the outside like super arctic chilly area, but then you've got also the more traditional Christmassy kind of snow level once you get to the inside part of the village. So both of those could make for interesting courses. Actually, does this blow itself up if I don't let go? Let's see, there's only one way to find out really. Okay, it's clearly not going to blow itself up until I drop it. That's useful to know. This course never was one of my favourites really, because there's like a good few things that can just sort of get in your way rather than being actual obstacles. I guess technically that is what an obstacle is, but you know, it's more things that inconvenience you without being satisfying things to dodge. Because say a thwomp lands directly in front of you, that's just a nuisance. It's just something you crash into and you got to back up. Nah, I'm not that big on that kind of thing. You know, like that's 2 laps down. And we'll see whether I can get down the middle route. I'll see if I can get through the middle route. I just want to show it off, but might not make it because sometimes the turn at the end there can be a little bit funny. Fuck, yeah, will I do it? There we go. And like, this is the part that's the same given it's a symmetrical part of the course, so nothing to fuck with my muscle memory there really, which is useful. Let's see, let's get around this course. I always get the feeling that something's going to creep up behind me, even when there's no visual prompt, there's no audio prompt. I just get a bit paranoid sometimes. But there we go, I got first on that. I think that's first overall. Yes, there we go. There is the sweet golden mushroom cup that I earn all by myself, and I got a new customizable vehicle part, so yeah, that's cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me next time where I'll be going on to the Flower Cup. I'll see you then.